Hello, everybody. Welcome to lesson 2 in unit 1. It's getting hard to keep track of my head. Okay, so we are going to be looking at examining an argument. Yesterday we looked at rhetorical appeals and how they're used to persuade. Now we're going to be looking at specifically claims in an argument. Okay? Why is this important? I think it's important to tell you why it's important that we learn the things we learn in class. So let's get into it. Arguments, we hear them all the time, we make them all the time, right? When you evaluate an argument, which is a set of claims, you determine its value or its persuasiveness. To be able to be good at this, at evaluating arguments, you need to know what an argument is and how the argument is put together. That makes sense, right? After you learn this, you're going to be telling everybody how their claims are weak and inefficient. They don't really back up their claims with any evidence or reasoning. So, what is an argument? An argument is a claim that is supported by reasons or evidence. This is a very good thing that we're differentiating because previously, when we were doing the PAPA project and we were analyzing rhetorical elements, you would hear argument and claim a lot. They're not the same thing. An argument is a claim that is supported by reasons or evidence, okay? When an author tries to persuade the reader that something is true or correct by presenting supporting reasons or evidence, an argument is being made. What is an argument not? An argument is not a statement. It's very different than a statement. I could say that arguments make statements in them, but a statement is not necessarily an argument, which we will learn. Buttons! I love buttons, so I put some buttons on here. An argument presents logical reasons and evidence to support a viewpoint. So, unlike a statement that doesn't necessarily need to be backed up by anything, an argument needs to be followed by logical reasoning and evidence as support. Okay? Parts of an argument, background. We've talked about this when we've done the PAPA project. We called it occasion at the time, right? The background, it provides some context and key facts surrounding the problem. When you present an argument, you want to be able to give some background, and you're going to do that in ways that'll probably help you be more persuasive. For instance, if you are using the appeal of ethos, then you're probably going to want to give them some background on yourself if you're an expert in the field, so that you can lend some credibility to what you're saying. You might want to give some background. Personal experiences create are a very good path to appealing to pathos. So if you have a compelling personal story, that might be the background. Logos, if you've done research, give them the background with the research. Give them some facts and figures. And then you have claim. The claim is the position on the issue. It is the position you are taking, the position that needs to be specific, and it needs to be arguable. It can't be so broad and unspecific that it's like everyone would be like, sure, I guess so. It has to be something you can argue. It has to be something that creates conversation. Support. The support is going to be reasons and evidence that the claim is reasonable and should be accepted. That is your support. The claim. State your claim. The claim of an argument is the point of the argument. This is why we're so often hearing this word when we're analyzing works, right? What is the claim? What is the author's main claim? What claim are they making? It's because it's really important. The Claim is the point, the main issue at discussion. When an author makes an argument, it's the claim that the author is trying to persuade the reader to accept as true. So that is the main point. How does it differ from an argument? It's because an argument has the claim, background, support. It has all of it. It's everything. It's everything involved. But the claim is the main point. There's different types of claims that we're going to learn right now. So you can make a claim of fact. Claims of fact are statements that can be proven or verified by observation or research. So if I said, which this would be a very weak claim, the sky is blue. You can go out there and say, let me take a look. And by observation alone, that would be a claim of fact. The example we have here, which this picture illustrates, within 10 years, destruction of the rainforest will cause hundreds of plants and animal species to become extinct. That's a claim of fact. You can look into it. You can verify it. The next is a claim of value. A claim of value states that one thing or idea is better or more desirable than another. Now, realize this. This claim, not all claims have to be a claim of fact. A claim of value says that I think that one thing or idea is better than another, and I still have to argue it, so I still have to present you with reasoning and evidence. But it does not necessarily have to be factual to be persuasive. But it is always between two things. So if someone is comparing two things, you know for a fact that it's a claim of value. The example here, requiring community service in high school will produce more community-aware graduates. So this person is saying that requiring more community service, the idea right now that they think is better or more desirable is it's more desirable than what's happening right now, or requiring less community service in high school. So that's a claim of value. This we have here is a claim of policy. A lot of the time when you hear policy, you're going to hear the word used in terms of politics, in terms of creating laws, creating rules for different industries is policy. So claim of policy suggests what should or ought to be done to solve a problem. As this picture coincides with the example, to reduce school violence, more gun and metal detectors should be installed in public schools. So they're solving that problem with this claim of policy. All right, and now there are strong claims and there are weak claims. What makes a claim strong? Let's go through the list. And you can just imagine it's the opposite that makes a claim weak. So a strong claim takes a stand. A strong claim justifies or promotes discussion. So right there, if you make a claim and it's kind of like half in, half out, if you're like, yeah, I think that guns are pretty good, that's not taking a stand. It's really not going to promote much discussion, you know. A strong claim expresses one main idea. So if you're making a claim that is kind of all over the place and includes a bunch of ideas, it's going to be a weak claim. It's going to be a difficult claim to make a good argument on. A strong claim is specific. People know what you're saying when you make that claim. And a strong claim is arguable, which is the whole point, right? We're making arguments. Claims are part of an argument. Now, ask these questions when you are presented with a claim. This will help you kind of narrow down whether it's a weak claim or strong claim, whether it's justified or not, right? Is it arguable? Is it obvious? Is there bias? Bias is a big one. You don't want to include bias in your claims. Kind of taints it right off the bat. Is there a specific agenda the writer is working towards, right? That kind of makes it a little sketchy too. If someone makes a claim that someone claims that the Ford Focus is the best car ever made, and you realize that they work for Ford, well, that's a little iffy. Is the claim general? Because remember, we want it to be specific. So ask these questions when you're looking at claims. Now, there's your whole lesson. What do we do now? Complete lesson 1.2 assignment. Review lesson 1.2 assignment feedback. Please wait for our feedback before you continue on. Complete lesson 1.2 mastery check. And again, review the lesson 1.2 mastery check feedback. Or if we send you a message. So that's everything. Go test out your new skills with claims. Let's see how you do. Good luck. I know you're going to do great. See you in the next episode.